Somewhere along the way, life got tangled in routines, the kind that feel safe but leave you feeling empty. It's not that you don't have dreams anymore, it's that they got buried under everyone else's expectations. Am I right? You put in the work, you followed the steps, did what everyone said you were supposed to do. But tell me, when was the last time you felt truly alive, truly yourself? Are you even living your life or have you just been managing the day-to-day survival of it? So I'm gonna give you an example. When you grew up in your family system, in your family unit, right? Every family has a set of standards. They may be unspoken, sometimes they are spoken, sometimes they're unspoken. But every family has a set of standards, whether that standard is to start a family at a certain age, to finish school, to get a master's, for you to be very active in sports, to for you to be active in community service. There are so many things that you were born into, and you don't even recognize that you have a choice on whether or not you participate. Now, sometimes our families and how we grow up, our environment, sometimes we enjoy the things that we have been accustomed to, but sometimes we don't. Sometimes we are just going with the flow of how we were raised and our environment. And a lot of times it takes for you to isolate for just a second, for you to take a step back and see what you really want to do. You know, what you really like. You might be miserable going to sporting events, but that was a big deal for your family, you know? But anyway, let's get back to what's important. We want to break this cycle. If there's one thing that I know, it's that clarity starts with knowing what you don't want. So I want you to grab a notebook, like right now, like go pause the video, go and grab a notebook. I want you to write it down. I want you to write down the things that you don't want. All right. Maybe it's the stress from overcommitting. You know, maybe you've signed up for different committees at your church, at your school, at your job, and it's becoming overwhelming. Not that you don't like it or anything like that, but it just might be overwhelming for you, and you'd rather stay home some Friday nights instead of, working overtime. That's just one example. Of course, your life will determine whether or not, what it is that you actually do. It might be, your fear of judgment or your fear of rejection that might keep you playing small. Just write it all down. This is your anti-vision, a mirror showing you where you don't want to end up. When you finally see what it is you don't want, it opens space to ask, what do I want instead? Set one meaningful goal that lights you up, something that feels so real, it gives you chills just to think about achieving it. So for me recently, and this is so funny, for people who have gotten to know me through our online community and those who know me, in person, y'all know that this goal is so far out of my league right now, but I am so excited because my son and I were just hanging out one day and we started, I don't know what made us look at the marathons, like Boston Marathon, New York Marathon, Chicago, Dubai, Paris. So we're looking at like the routes, And we are looking at just footage of people training and what they have to go through to train to run different marathons. And that's something I really never had interest in before. I'm not a running girly. I'm really actually not even into exercising that much as it is. If I can be honest, I'm working on it. Um, but I said I want to put that on my bucket list. I want to try each marathon, and I'm not going to push myself too much because this is something that I feel like if you started, and I know there are millions of people who do these marathons and everybody is different, but for me, I just don't know that I'm going to push myself to be a winner of the marathon. I know that that's really, really ambitious. That's not my goal. But I do want to at least attempt to complete each, probably the top three marathons. At this age, I just don't know if training, but I don't know, maybe, who knows? We'll see. But anyway, that's not the point. The point that I'm trying to say is, write down goals, things that you want to do, that you want to accomplish. And when you compare that to things that you're currently doing, and you think about how you can replace something that you don't like doing, like maybe going to the club, right? There was a time in my life where I decided, like, I don't like the club. I never was really a big club girly and to begin with, but I don't know. There was a certain time where I just could not stand it. And I haven't been back since, and it's been a long time. Now I can go to a restaurant, I can go to a lounge, I can go to like a chill spot, a speakeasy or something, but I club, the music, the smoke, the drinks, the overcharging for parking and entry, I'm good. And then I'm older, so I'm not interested. But anyway, if you learn that the club is just not your scene anymore, it's just not your style anymore, then replace it with doing a new achievement, something that is more your style, like crossing off a marathon on your bucket list. I'm not saying that that has to be your one. I'm just saying replace it, right? Replace it with something exciting. And there will be doubts. Some people don't believe you can do it. And sometimes that's exactly the motivation that you need. Use that energy as fuel. Every doubt from your family, from your friends, from yourself, every fear, every what if, that's power in your hands if you look at it like that. If you choose to turn it around and look at it like that, it can be power, it can be energy that you'll use to achieve this goal. So, back to our notebook, right? I want you in that same notebook, I want you to write down all the skills. Don't just watch this video and not do this. Like, do the things, do the steps, do the things, okay? Write down the skills you need to make this happen. The commitment that you're making to yourself and the distractions that have held you back. I want you to write all of that down. Write it all out. When you start to look at things on paper, it starts to make so much more sense. I'm gonna just give y'all a quick example. Y'all know I love to yap, but I think it's helpful, right? One thing I wish I did a long time ago, which I did recently. I did this in the last few days, honestly, and it has been working out so far, so good. And I don't plan on ever deviating from it. So I did like a deep clean in my kitchen a few days ago. What's today? Yeah, a few days ago. And as I was cleaning it out, I just ended up throwing out so much junk from my pantry because, and anyway, I don't want to draw it, make it all drawn out, but basically what I learned from cleaning out my pantry and even cleaning out, I've been doing spring cleaning, or like not spring cleaning, fall cleaning. And So when I did my pantry, I noticed that I just have so much variety of items. So when I go to the grocery store, for example, if they have, I don't know, a new taco shell flavor, right? Don't laugh at me, y'all. If they have a new taco shell flavor, jalapeno cheese flavored taco shell, I just have to get it. And then if I don't like it, I don't really want to throw it away because I don't want to waste any money. So now I'm, and it's just, I'll have that, or oh, there's a new cereal, and then my kids want to try the cereal, so then I'll get the cereal. And then rice, they might have rice with jalapenos, or I don't know. They just have just so many different, and I said, I have to stop doing this because I end up not liking it. I like what I like. My kids like what they like. And I decided that if I want to explore and I want to um try something new, that'll be an opportunity to find a good restaurant. If I want to try, some flavorful tacos other than my plain soft shell, hard shell tacos, then I will find a good Mexican restaurant and I will try a variety. That'll give me a reason to go out. But as far as my pantry, I said, I'm just going to write a list and I'm going to keep it simple. I'm gonna put my meat and I'm gonna get the same meat over and over and over and over. Um, More on a pescatarian diet than anything else. I do put a little chicken in there, but um, more on a pescatarian diet. So I get like salmon, I get like shrimp, and I get my meats and I get my like as far as sides, I try all kind of sides. I mean, that's probably the most junk that was in the pantry. It was like just trying different sides because they came out with some new fancy. No, we're simple. We like corn and green beans and broccoli, um, rice and mashed potatoes. I told y'all the meats, uh, pancakes, and let's just keep it simple. And that's just it. And if we want to try and explore and get some Caribbean, some Jamaican food, then I'm gonna go to the Jamaican restaurant, you know? Because I only make um Caribbean food every so often, why should I get all of these ingredients and I don't cook this stuff often? So now I just have a whole bunch of random ingredients that I only use a little bit of because I only made the curry chicken the one time. I don't cook curry chicken like that. And I know I'm rambling, but let me get back on point. But basically what I was saying is when you write stuff down, it just makes more sense. It just makes more sense. So I'm sorry to go that deep. I like to ramble, but what I'm saying is writing stuff down really, really is magical. Like it really will change your perspective on things when you see things on paper. All right. So, yeah, so we're gonna write all the things that um it takes to achieve the goal. So if we're using me, for example, we'll say for the marathon, I need to first, start looking into marathon training, look up some videos. Do I need to learn how to stretch first? Do I need to know how to cardio? Is it breath control? What do I need to do in order to achieve this thing? And hyper fixate on that and focus on that. Write it all down. Starting over doesn't mean something drastic all the time. It just means making one intentional choice every morning. You're not running from anything. You're just resetting for a purpose. Okay? You're just restarting and just making a change, just actually putting in the work to make the change. Everybody talks about changing. Everybody says, I'm gonna start doing this. Oh, I need a side hustle, or oh, I need this, I need to do that, and they just don't do it. So start. Really don't be that person. Just start, just do it. Today's the day that you want to flip the switch. All right? Build your foundation. Start today. Go get your notebook today, and when you're ready, I'll be right here. I'm not going anywhere, and I will be creating right beside you, you know? So take that step, and if you ever need a reminder, come back. Save the video. Let's rewrite our stories one day and one step at a time. You got this.